Atlassian opened up their Team 25 conference by talking about the system of work. But what exactly is system of work? Well, in this video, I'm going to break it down for you and give you all the latest, greatest information from Atlassian from their Team 25 conference. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you drop a like, and let's jump into it. So, kicking off the conference 4 minutes into this, Atlassian defines their system of work as a philosophy of how technology driven organizations should work by connecting technology and business teams to accelerate progress and maximize team impact. So, that tells us a lot, but not anything at the same time. So, what exactly is system of work? Well, from my perspective, it's a couple of things. One, it's all of your teams, not just your technical teams, not just your developers, right? Not just IT, but rather it's all your teams. It's finance, it's leadership, it's HR, it's marketing, it's your design. Basically, the entire company is your full company, the full enterprise inside of an Atlassian tool. And this is very important for Atlassian for one of two reasons. Atlassian currently has over 300,000 customers. Now, what's very interesting is Atlassian this year, they just said 300,000 plus customers. And that's a very particular announcement that they did because if you watched the Team 24 conference last year, they made a big deal to say that they used to have like 150,000 customers and that they had doubled to like 300,000. You have to go back and watch that Team 24, but it was a notable increase. I don't know if it was a double, but it was a notable increase that Atlassian basically said, we have gone up, right? We have grown a lot in a year. That was from 23 to 24. But from 24 to 25, they basically just threw up a number on the slide that says 300,000 plus. And it's the same 300,000 from a year ago. So you can see that Atlassian growth is kind of plateauing. I think at this point, Atlassian has monopolized companies and teams that are technical. And if you're a technical team, then you're most likely using Jira. And so they've kind of already monopolized that market. And I don't know that there's a whole lot of room to grow. And so what Atlassian is doing here with System of Work is saying, well, we have two options here. We have brand new businesses. Watch my video on the Teamwork Collection, right? But Atlassian has two paths to growth, right? They have brand new companies that have never experienced Jira. And so with the Teamwork Collection, they can basically create an enticing package that is very affordable at $15 and say, hey, you get our best. You get the best of the best for $15. And here's your entry point. Here's Teamwork Collection. Go forth and prosper. New teams, new companies that have not experienced Jira or have heard of Jira but just haven't tried it. That's going to be for them. But for the existing customers, the folks that have already invested tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, some even millions of dollars into their Jira infrastructure, Atlassian is going, what if we extended our reach a little bit, right? What if you're already our customer, but what if we could make more money off of you, right? What if instead of you spending $1 million on us, we on like 5,000 developers, what if we went and got your entire company of like 25,000 people, right? Well, that's going to be very big for Atlassian because that's going to drive not a customer growth because they're already existing customers, but because they're bringing in the rest of the organization, all those HR teams, finance teams, leadership teams, HR teams, sales teams, right? All these other teams that are not normally in Jira. Well, they're going to be able to say, instead of your Atlassian spend being $1 million for 5,000 developers, it's going to be like $10 million for 25,000 users, right? And so I think that's a very clever way, right? Because now Atlassian is able to basically exponentially grow their earnings without having to grow their customer base and give the entire company or give their existing customers a much better experience. So Atlassian has been revamping Jira. They've been changing a lot of the under the hood stuff in Jira to make Jira a tool that is not just for developers. And so we can see this by the new UI that's a little bit more user-friendly, a little bit more non-technical user-friendly. Specifically, we can see the shift in Atlassian not calling things issues anymore. Everything's a work item now, right? And so Atlassian's making these incremental changes. The board structure, the way you plan and you use Jira, we're kind of leaving that agile mindset behind a little bit, and we're just making Jira open to everybody. And so with these changes, Atlassian is trying to make Jira seem appealing to everybody, and it starts with their system of work. So I think it's a very interesting, very clever marketing move, one that I applaud Atlassian, right? Because you're going to be able to grow the business in two ways, right? You're going to be able to adopt new customers with the Teamwork Collection, And then for your existing customers, that existing 300,000, you're going to be able to increase their spend by making the tool much more enticing to their current customers, but just bringing their family and friends as well. So interesting move from Atlassian on the system of work. I think it's something that I think is going to work out for Atlassian. They're going to have to push marketing though. Jira has a very technical stigma, and they're going to have to make it enticing. Jira is already very expensive, but when you have to go buy Jira for not just your small little group of developers, but now hundreds, if not thousands of more employees, that Atlassian's bill is going to get very more expensive. And you're going to start competing more with the likes of Microsoft and like ServiceNow, where you're buying licenses for a lot more users. So good move on Atlassian. I think this is Atlassian's first true step into enterprise, right? Being an enterprise customer. But there's a lot of money in the enterprise. So I think it'd be foolish for Atlassian to leave millions and millions and millions of dollars on the table. And so the system of work is definitely going to help them get those millions and millions of dollars. Let me know what you think. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll look forward to the conversation in the comments.